Welcome back to Don's Life. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining today. Have you ever wanted ambient lighting in your vehicle, but it just didn't come with it? Well, today's video is going to have you covered. We're going to install some today. Let's go. So multicolored ambient lighting is becoming all the craze, super common now in especially luxury vehicles like my wife's 2022 Cadillac Escalade. It has all kinds of ambient lighting, not only under the seats, in the footwells, but in the door panels as well. We're gonna try and mimic that today with this kit here that I bought on Amazon. This one is made by Magula. I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's a Bluetooth car interior lights with music sync. We'll talk about some of the features in a little bit, but first let's open it up and see what's in the box. Starting with the 12-volt adapter. This just plugs into your 12-volt adapter socket. You got an on and off switch here, pretty simple. I could see myself cutting this off and hardwiring it in through fuse taps in the fuse panel in the vehicle. Might do that, might not, we'll see. We've got a remote that gives you direct push button access to, your brightness, on, off, direct colors, different animations, as well as your music sync options, which we'll look at a little more later. We've got our instruction pamphlet here, recommendations on where to do the install, that type of thing. We have some cable ties just for some cable management. We got a thank you card with a future discount offer on it. And then we have the lights. So this is a 6-piece. We have 4 with reasonably long cables right there. And then we have 2 more with exceptionally long cables right here. So we're gonna plan out how it's going to go in my GMC Sierra AT4, but it's gonna vary a little bit depending on the vehicle. And it might be a car, it might be a truck. I went with the 6-piece. Again, I haven't decided exactly where I'm gonna put them. We'll play around with that in a little bit. But lastly, let's look at the control box here. Looks like you can mount it with some adhesive already attached. And then there's a microphone here, which is going to listen to the music and respond accordingly, depending on what's being played. So we've got to make sure that this sticks out somewhere so it can hear the speakers. And then your power just plugs into this music control box and you have your controls right here. So let's plan out our installation. So follow me. We just plugged in the adapter here, turn the power button on. We got some lights. I'm gonna put one up underneath the dash. There's just adhesive on the back you can peel off and stick somewhere, or you could use cable ties. Now, normally you would put this under the back of the front seats, but I'm going to put mine up inside this cavity here. I think that'll look good, having that light in there, and you won't really see it unless you were to get your head down here. So we'll get that nice ambient glow. Now in the back, I thought about putting these ones with the longer cables under these seats, but honestly, once you fold them down, all the light is blocked, at least with mine, because I have this tray here. And I put stuff in there, so it's not really gonna work for me under these fold-up seats, but I'm going to tuck it in the back of here. So I'll have one for the footwell area here for the rear passengers. I'll have the lighting inside the armrest console cavity here, just like that. And then I will have one up here. So now we get to run all the wires. Okay, I think I have it all planned out. If you want to come closer, I'll show you. So I popped off the side panels of the console here. If you have an AT4 like me, there's a bolt right there, so make sure you undo that first. It's only on the driver's side. But the intent is to get the 3 that I want on the driver's side ready to run where I want them. And then it's the same for the passenger side. Now I've decided for my power source, instead of having the 12-volt adapter coming out somewhere underneath and plugging in, I am going to splice into it and hardwire it to my auxiliary switch under the hood. So I'm just going to show you a little bit about how I'm doing that, and then we'll finish running these wires. All right, I've taken apart my adapter here. I'm just going to undo the solders. Now I just need to extend this wire. This will stay in the vehicle, and then we'll have the extension, which I have right here, which will go out to the switch panel, and then everything will be neat, concealed, and we won't have to see it again, and we can control it with the switch. We got our solder in place. We're going to use this wire that I've temporarily taped on so we can guide the wires through the firewall, and then we'll be close to hooking it all up. Okay, we got the wires fished through into my switch panel. That cover will go on like that. We're just gonna hook it up to the second from last circuit under a 5 amp fuse, which should be plenty. It's just some LEDs. Okay, out of all my stickers for my panel, we're gonna pick interior lights 1 because it seems to be the closest. And we're gonna put it in that spot right there. That corresponds with where that 5 amp fuse is. All right, the wiring's done. I think that's the hardest part. Remember, mine's more of a permanent nature. So it's hooked up to the auxiliary switch there. It's controlled by the panel over there. That means that the switch right here, I don't really need to use it. I have the remote that this has come with, as well as I have the app, which we'll demonstrate near the end. So this just needs to be tucked away somewhere, but this microphone on here has to be somewhere inconspicuous. I'm probably gonna have it just popping out in here somewhere where you won't even see it. So let's just run all the wires, stick everything where it needs to go. Remember, these are backed with adhesive. So I've already stuck one under here to a plastic piece. This will stick to a plastic piece. And under my seats, there's a couple straps that hold the leather on, just kind of that cover, and then it's gonna tuck in there. I'll give you close-ups when I'm done. So down here, before I put this in, I wanted to show you that I fished the infrared receiver / microphone through this little hole here. Every vehicle is going to be a little bit different, but then that way when I'm sitting in the driver's seat, if I'm using the remote control, it will see the signal there. All right, she's pretty much done. We're just gonna wait for nightfall. We'll pull it outside and we'll do a big montage and reveal. All right, it's darkness outside. Before we do a demonstration on my truck, let's have a look at my wife's Escalade to see what true ambient lighting from the factory looks like. So starting with the back, you can see the lights changing underneath the footwell for the rear passengers. You can also see the lighting is in the doors. When we get to the front, there's a lot more going on. They have it on the door, in the footwell, and in that little cargo area on the side, as well as straight across the dashboard. And right now it's going through all the different colors. So that's what the luxury ambient lighting looks like. Now let's look at the AT4. So this is what it's like normally with just your overhead courtesy lamps. Now I have my switch panel on a remote. I have that in a previous video. So I can turn it on remotely, don't have to have the ignition on. And there we go. There's our lighting. So if we start at the back, actually, you can see it's lit up quite well. And when we come to the front, you can see the footwell is extremely bright. And then we have those side pockets in the console also lit up. You can see the LED from this vantage, but if you're sitting up on the seat, you won't see any LEDs, it'll just glow. So let's get in the truck and do a bit of a demonstration. So I'm just going to turn the accessory on for the truck, let that do its thing, and I'm going to show you with the remote how to do things here. We'll just put a little bit of light on the remote. But as you can see here, we have our brightness changes. So if I just have it pointed forward here, you can see I'm changing the brightness. It's dimming and getting brighter. We have all different colors. I'll just give you some samples. Lots of colors to quickly change. And then we have the ability to do different patterns. I think you get the idea. And then you have the ability to have it sync to music, which I'll demonstrate through another way of controlling. So we could use our phone and download an app, but as you know, I have this box from One Car Stereo that I reviewed. The thing I like about this box is it really is putting a tablet through your infotainment system, and I can download apps from the Google Play Store, and I can now control my lighting using this app, and I don't have to worry about using the remote. So I can just change the colors right here, as you can see. Really simple. Now, what you're going to find neat, and hopefully I don't get copyright strikes, we'll go to music here. I will put on some FM radio. Okay, we got music. I'll turn that up in a second. We'll go back to the box that I have on here. Sorry, if you go to microphone, you can pick a theme. Now there's a microphone in here. If I clap, it'll respond to noise. You can see it was working there. So you can have it dance to your music. So that's what the music sync's all about. You can actually play music. So I could download some tracks on here and it would play to the downloaded music. I'm not going to do that for any copyright issues, but I thought this microphone was pretty cool. I thought it was kind of gimmicky at first, and there's different settings on how, you know, it's going to respond. You can have your microphone set to different sensitivity, and when you turn the music on, pretty cool stuff. So that is that, and this is controlled through my AI box, which is basically a tablet built into this little box to work through your wired CarPlay and give you a whole bunch of extra features. Now you may want to pick up something like this. I'm just demonstrating what you can do for ambient lighting in really any vehicle, and you don't need a system like this. You could use your phone, you could use the remote, you could use the switch that comes with the controller itself, and you're ready to go. Well, there we go. We have some ambient lighting. I don't think it's as good as the luxury Escalade, but I think it worked out pretty good. Super affordable. The kids will have a lot of fun with it. I might have some fun with it. Fun little install. Maybe you want to try it. I'll leave a link in the description below for this product here. It's not sponsored, just something I tried out. Anyway, if you like today's video, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. We'll talk to you next time.